Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. I'm comedian Preacher Moss. I hope you're having a blessed Ramadan. Listen, I just want to take a couple of minutes of your time to talk about Olive Branch Muslim Family Services. Olive Branch Muslim Family Services represents a lot in the city of Houston. You have a lot of relief organizations throughout the country, throughout the state, but I have to say Olive Branch Muslim Family Services is one for the home team of the city of Houston. Listen, let me tell you about myself. I've always lived this idea that I'm always going to have more blessings than I'm going to have problems. And in that space, I've been able to understand that the blessings sometimes mean I can be a blessing in somebody else's life, much the same with Olive Branch Muslim Family Services. Years ago, maybe 2 years ago, we had a video and it asked the profound question, imagine if it wasn't an olive branch. Not so much the organization, but the absence of compassion and mercy. Imagine if there wasn't an olive branch. Not so much a question, but a reminder of prophetic tradition that all of our prophets who have came to advocate for the poor and uplift the suffering. Imagine if there wasn't an olive branch. Thinking about that. OBMFS. I changed the letters from Olive Branch Muslim Family Services and dug a little deeper, thinking about that prophetic tradition. So Olive Branch Muslim Family Services is really Olive Branch's mission is family success. We need your help. While you're writing out that check, brothers and sisters, think about that. What's a world without compassion? What's good music without good instruments? What's a president that's distrustful and not honest? Okay, let me get back focused. In any event, imagine if there wasn't an olive branch. Let me remind you.
We just need help.
Imagine if there wasn't an olive branch. Muslim Family Services at your command. The people who help people have to say, we need your donations, don't delay. We all have struggles from time to time. A leader's dedicated is what you find. Before another person sheds a tear, support Olive Branch, you don't have to fear. Olive Branch Muslim Family Services. Action you can see, compassion you can feel. Sing it with me. Ooh. Ooh.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. I'm comedian Preacher Moss. I hope you're having a blessed Ramadan.
Allahu Akbar.
All right, move a little quick here today. Hope everybody's doing well. This is your brother Preacher Moss. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Listen, flying solo here today. Sister Tana had some business to take care of, and I just want to make sure we show her some love and give her flowers, man. We do the Ramadan 30 for 30. This is every day. Not just for us, but for you too. So shout out to you, giving you your flowers too. So our hardcore supporters. Also want to give a shout out right up front. Safe travels to Sister Ree, driving up to Michigan to give flowers to her mother, who has been past 20 years now. So a very emotional trip, but a very spiritual, rewarding trip. Thank you so much for honoring your mother the way I would honor my mother, the way a lot of us will honor our mothers. Our topic today is a light topic, brothers and sisters. We've been talking about too much gun control and people getting shot and things like that. Today I'm feeling sort of like in a Ramadan sort of way. We're winding down. We don't have too many days left on the calendar. Really, 2 more days of Ramadan left, and you just gotta give thanks, man. This journey is something that we start every year. We start it a certain way every year, and we end it a certain way every year, and it's just the diversity of good feelings, the diversity of just devotion, the diversity of how we see ourselves coming out of a process, cleaning ourselves up. And I think it's just one of the best things that we can ever be a part of. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And like I said, I'm just real thankful for that. So there's a reason why I don't have the overlay around here, which would say the shout out show. I got something from Brother Bilal. I thought it would be kind of funny to throw it up. They always say it's never too young to start teaching your children about God, teaching your children about Islam. It's never too young. And Brother Bilal, in his shorts, in his t-shirt, and with his grandson, proves that point. I'm going to throw this up here. Y'all take a look at this is convert. Now, Brother Bilal, you have to know that in Islam, religion is not compulsory. It's not compulsory. And your grandson showed me that it was not compulsory, that he is working on his own thing. So take a gander, everybody. This is Brother Bilal.
Allahu Akbar. You done? Allahu Akbar. Come on, ready? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. You done?
All right. So, where we go here? Put that right there. All right. So, yeah. So, feeling, I got the wrong title card and everything. Boy, I am having a rough day today. What's the wrong subject card? There we go. I got it mixed up. Hey, at least I admit and I own up to my mistakes. Shout out again to Brother Bilal sent me that video. If any of y'all have any funny videos that I can take a laugh at, where you feel comfortable sharing, send them into the shout out show. Go to permissiblelaughter@gmail.com. Again, that's permissiblelaughter@gmail.com. We really appreciate the submissions that we get. Again, great submissions for everybody who did the Love a Lot More campaign. Definitely appreciated those videos. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So we're getting more and more in. We want to make sure that you get yours in as well. So from the top, brothers and sisters, I'm going to just go ahead and introduce everybody. I'm going to go ahead and do the greetings and salutations for everybody that's been supporting, riding with us this whole month. We is more than happy to have in the house, in the building. Yes, we have Mary Moss, better known as Mama Son, who is on the upside of the mountain, on the upswing, as they say. We were worried about it for a while, but you know it can't keep a good spirit down. So she is back home. She's rehabbing. She's dealing with her physical therapist. She is doing things she's not supposed to be doing a little bit too much sometimes. But you know what? It's just that joy. It's that joy. I think sometimes when you have an injury or you have some health issues, and you get a chance to go outside and sniff that air. Not in my case, I have allergies, but if you get a chance to go out and sniff that air and put some sunshine on your face, you are a thankful individual. And I'll tell you why it's important, because my mom did it and I just felt thankful. So, those are the things we have to look at. Again, shout out to Sister Ree on that road. Please be careful. Please be careful and give our Michigan family big hugs and salutations. And when you get there, du'as are with you on the way up and du'as are with you on the way back. Next up, my main man, Altar Fashi, better known as Mr. 6 o'clock, straight up, straight down, the Canadian envoy to the Shout Out Show. My dear brother, thank you so much for tuning in. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We appreciate you as always, man. If you got a funny video you'd like to see send it to us. I'm going to start putting funny videos here on the Shout Out Show. I don't want it to be the funny video show, but sometimes that little man tickled me, because he wasn't dealing with anything but I was talking about. You know what he's looking for? He's looking for that bottle. You got to see the end of the video. He needed a drink. All right, much love to him. Next up, let me give a shout out to my main man. He started out Eric, we turned into Eric, and now he's just a big E, brothers and sisters. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brother. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And thank you so much for making us a part of your day. That's everybody in the Shout Out Show, those that are in the comment section, the Shout Out Show family, and those who peek in from time to time. We appreciate you peeking in. Shout outs. What's going on, Bilal? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shout out to Brother Bilal. And by no default, first and foremost, his queen, Sister Sonia Dalton Salahuddin. Hey, brother, did you see the little star, man? I took your video. I put it on. I put it at the top of the show. I might even run it again because little man had me cracking up. Hey, good job, man. Good job. He wasn't trying to make the Adon, and you know it's okay. Okay, it's okay. He wasn't trying to make the Adon. He's trying to make a way to that bottle. And I love the way he patted your pockets because he's in training to be a grandchild, making sure you have money in your pocket to be an appropriate grandpa. So I'm feeling a Ramadan kind of way today. It seems like Ramadan just started. It seems like in the blink of an eye, we were in the middle, the first 10 days, the middle 10 days, and then we were just gone. It was over. And, at this time of year, a lot of us, admittedly, we do have a sense of sadness, melancholy as Ramadan leaves us. That mandate, if you will, to straighten yourself up, the mandate, if you will, to fast and stay away from things that are not healthy, stay away from things, backbiting, bad habits and things like that. Understanding that you now have reprieve from the Most High to work on yourself while the devil is lined up, the devil is chained up, the devil is doing time, Shaitan is doing time. While he's doing time, while he's on paper, shall we say, you got a chance, stay away from all the distractions and get yourself. So, you know what I miss about Ramadan? Immediately when it goes out, and it will be going out this Friday. Most Eid celebrations are happening Friday, ironically on Juma Day. You know what you miss is that there is a connection with you and people that you don't see that we've recognized in this instance of fasting. We recognize that all of the things that we have are not ours, that we have ownership of nothing. The only thing we have ownership of is a relationship with the Most High, the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't have anything else. As Ramadan carried through, I found myself detaching from things. Like last night, I knew when the ball game was coming on, but I wasn't there at the beginning of the ball game. And then when the second ball game came on, I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch it. It was Night of Power, and I'm like, there are things that I need to address in my spirit. This is a great time to do it. The ball game can't help me. Listen to my logic. The ball game can't help me. Steph Curry can't help me. Joel Embiid can't help me. LeBron James can't help me. Only I can help myself in this particular positioning of this Night of Power. That I have the best opportunity to correct myself. You have other opportunities to correct yourself. Don't get me wrong. But this is the best opportunity to correct myself. And then there's another aspect that I don't want to be morbid, but Ramadan, when you get a certain age, you start wondering how many you have left. You start understanding that last year's Ramadan and the match is not the same as this year's Ramadan because there are personalities and characters that are no longer there. They return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are in the next life while we are in this life. And you begin to understand that, life is not given. It is gifted. And when you have a gift that you don't give yourself, you can't claim it as yours. And you don't want to claim it as yours. You want this gift to be the gift that keeps on giving. Not just to you, but to people around you. And I, yesterday we opened the show talking about the death of Ahmad Jamal. A jazz piano virtuoso, hands down, amazing. I went running to the Pittsburgh album this morning. Amazing composer, amazing musician. But during Ramadan this year, do you think he said, this is going to be my last Ramadan? We all make the water that it's not. But my point is, he's not here. I have somebody near and dear to my heart, somebody from a major part of our community, Imam Abu Qadir Al-Amin, out in San Francisco, the Imam of the San Francisco Masjid. He's been out there for a number of years, but he fell ill. And we send all kind of prayers and du'as and pray that Allah give him shifa, because he had a very serious illness. I'm not going to get into his personal business, but it's serious. And I joke not with you that we could have lost him. These type of things are sobering thoughts. And as Ramadan begins to go away, and with it, the Ramadan 30 for 30, I began to understand more and more and more what my mother and my father, my grandfather, my grandmother were telling me. And when I say telling me, it wasn't even spoken language. It was just presenting to me character. Look at my character. Look at me at this age. Look at what I've been through. Look at the blessings, the successes, the failures. How do I carry myself in this light? How do I reflect myself in this light, in this creation? And it's a very overwhelming type of humbleness that comes through, right? So even in this Ramadan sort of way, kind of way, as we say, though I never met the person, never hung out with the person, we never kicked it, we never did iftar together. But the Rasulullah, peace and blessings be upon him, comes into a very, very, very meaningful focus right now. Because we talk about people who influence us all the time. You have terms like social influencers. But you know, this is one of the greatest social influencers that ever was. That someone who bought the Quran and this religion of Al-Islam to the point that almost 2 billion people stop what they're doing, stop what they're doing and take notice of the world. And they take notice of their position in the world. And in doing so, they want to repurpose themselves to do good things, to do appropriate things, to get rid of bad habits, to move away from sin and confusion, the dysfunction. These are the things we have. To the point where even folks like myself and other people, we were fearful of being sick because we didn't want to miss a day of Ramadan. Not that it couldn't be made up, but it could be made up with the people who were fasting around the world. Because that compassion and that camaraderie, I say that compassion, that camaraderie around this idea that we must serve is a powerful misnomer. Powerful. Can't beat it. There are a lot of holidays out there, don't get me wrong. Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving. But this is not a holiday. Eid is the holiday. Ramadan is the commitment. See, because you could do Christmas. You know, you can do Christmas. Christmas is a holiday. But what are you doing the other 364 days? Ramadan is a time clock. When I say feeling a certain way, I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like, the time is clicking. You know, when we have this, I want to say microscope, I want to say we take a small picture in 30 days of what we're supposed to be doing in 365 days. It's amazing how sober you will get because, brothers and sisters, you do want to live your life a certain way. You know, one of the funny things during Ramadan, and we don't talk about this enough, is there's a lot of laughter during Ramadan. There's a lot of joking during Ramadan. You know, because when you're in that space where you're not eating and drinking, I'm not saying you hallucinate a little bit, but you know how easy it is to smile when you're fasting. You know how quick you are to laugh when you're fasting? I used to say, man, I got a Ramadan high. Of course, I'm not high, but you know, that lift that you would have. You know, sometimes in the toughest days, your stomach's balled up in knots, your mouth is dry. You kind of laugh. You ever look at yourself knowing, oh God, I got another 3 hours. And the world doesn't need to know that you and Allah have an agreement for this particular time of the year. Like I said, feeling the Ramadan sort of way. So listen, we're gonna come back. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. Hopefully, I won't mess up any more commercials. But I just want everybody to take a look at that. Just think about it a little bit, and we'll be back here on the ShOUT Show. Don't you move.
Tarife Atar. The scent of enlightenment. A gentle reminder that air, water, and fire indeed are life-giving essences. appreciate the intersection of time and luxury. Magnify your essence. Tarife Atar. Tarife Atar.
I messed it up anyway. It's a Ramadan time of year. So listen, no, I want to thank a few people, some family members, my Aunt Maxine. I want to thank some cousins and some friends, my big brother Rick and JT. Most of y'all know I lost my dad. And this Ramadan is really difficult because for the time I've been Muslim, I had somebody to talk to about Ramadan who wasn't Muslim but understood everything and encouraged me. And in many regards, we would have laughs. My Ramadan routine would be that I would get up around, whatever, 4, 3:30, whatever. I would go run. I would come back and I would have suhoor, which is basically a bottle of water. I'm not a big. Some people can eat a meal for suhoor. I can't, but I have a bottle of water after I run, and it suits me well. Alhamdulillah. But in that early time, I talked to two people. I would talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the run. I would talk to my father. And this year was interesting because I found myself remembering some of the vibrant conversations that we had. Everything from politics to family to crime to entertainment. We had this vast thing, and it was funny running this morning because I've had to make the adjustment. Yeah, sometimes you have to make a pivot when you lose a loved one, and it was interesting because in making the pivot, I was able to connect with things that made my dad happy, which in regard made me happy. Finding that some of the habits that he had, I now have. And it's nothing overwhelming, brothers and sisters, nothing spooky, anything like that. But it's so important as we talk about Ramadan and we get to this space about we're winding down. It is so important to tell people in your house, in your life, the people who contribute to you, the people who invest in you, the people who love you, the people who believe in you, thank you. You can tell them you love them back, but you need to tell them thank you first. Thank you recognizes the effort. Love you recognizes the emotion. And being able to tell that to people this Ramadan, despite the difficulties and dysfunctions that I have, up and down things, I can honestly say that there was joy during Ramadan. That there was joy knowing that I've been a part of a process for so long that I may not be able to fast the way I used to, straight through, bam, bam, bam. And it was acknowledging that sometimes in the fall there are leaves on the trees and they fall to the ground. That I had to stop and acknowledge nature. So it wasn't the loss of friends and my aunt and my dad. This is nature. And sometimes, if we're smart, and I try to be, you got to recognize and respect that nature. The idea of going to masjids, think about this. Masjids were packed. I hope they still stay packed. But going to the masjids and sitting up there in a group of people, you could barely hear the khutbah because everybody's stomach was rumbling. but you sat there and you knew that you were in attendance of something extremely important. And even if you didn't get to the masjid, carrying on doing your fast, trying to do good deeds, saying, my good deeds are going to be multiplied. Listen to me, multiplied. This is the only time where interest, if you will, is allowed. Halal interest, if you will. And also in the thing of understanding more so than in the past that the divine is a beautiful thing. That in the last 10 days, people have done more charitable work, given more zakat, reached out to folks. How are you? How you doing? Texting one another, preparing for a big festival, preparing for the big gathering of Eid. That this is an extremely special point in all of our lives. And what I believe is we shouldn't overlook it. Definitely should not overlook it. So my little brother's not on here. I meant to shout him out, JT. He's been extremely valuable in my transition. And let me throw this out here while we have a fair amount of folks. Sister Satana's not here. Sister Ree is on the road. We have people that pop in. Brother Roberto Rashid, he pops in. Brother Mark Candidate, he pops in. But you know what, man? It is a beautiful thing that I can sit here at this juncture in Ramadan and say that I honestly believe in my heartfelt, deepest heartfelts, that the ShOUT show has been therapeutic, it has been spiritual, and it has been nurturing. To get up and, like I said, have this spot, this small little platform, my little TV studio, to be able to share thoughts and laughter with folks, to have a virtual iftar, to know in my heart of hearts that somewhere, somehow, my beloved brothers and sisters are going to eat something on me. They're going to eat something on me, and that's the joy of it. The joy of it is being able to do good works, knowing that I feel that you are people that do good works too, because you spend time and hang with your brother. That's major. So look, I'm not going to go too long today. 2 reasons. The one, I'm a little, I'm a little uncomfortable today, but you'll find out about that later. That's number one. But number two is, I want everybody to enjoy these last couple days of Ramadan. I know you give me 30 minutes every day for the last 30 days. You know how many minutes? That's 900 minutes, brothers and sisters, by the time we finish. I don't know what that is in hours, but it's 900 minutes. And it's 900 hard-fought minutes. Here's my point. My point is, I want everybody, with the time you have between today and the end of Ramadan, call somebody. Tell them thank you for being there, but thank you for supporting, and tell them you love them, all right? So that's our show here in Ramadan. I apologize for technical errors. I literally said I didn't want to do these technical errors, and I actually rehearsed, believe it or not, but I still managed to make the errors. You know what you can chalk it up to? I'm feeling a Ramadan kind of way. All right, beloveds. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hug somebody, love somebody. Hey, let's go one more time. Just for the good times.
Allahu Akbar. Come on, ready? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.